And here are my 8 people. Alright guys, so I want you to imagine going into the hospital and giving birth to a beautiful baby. You go in thinking that it's a healthy delivery. Now imagine, while in the hospital or even months after birth, you find out your baby has a complication. But you really don't know much about it. About 1 in every 323 children has been identified with cerebral palsy, according to estimates from CDC's Autism and Development Disabilities Monitoring Network. I'm here to talk to you today about what cerebral palsy is, the symptoms and causes, and how it can be treated and managed. Cerebral palsy is the most common motor disability in children. Yet many people are unaware of what cerebral palsy actually is. Many of us have heard this term before, but how many people in this room can tell me the prevalence and the actual details of the disease? CP is a group of disorders that affects a person's ability to move, their motor function, and their balance and posture. Cerebral means having to do with the brain, and palsy means having to do with weakness or problems using the muscles. This occurs when there is an abnormal brain development. According to Janet Trophy from Journal of American Association, this is damage to the brain. There are 2 types of CP. There's congenital CP, and that means it's related to a complication during birth or after birth. And according to the Lancet Arthur A. Culver, he estimates this makes up 85% to 90% of most cases. The other type is acquired CP. This type occurs 28 days after birth. This is usually associated with meningitis, an infection, or a head injury. So where does CP come from? More babies are at risk that have a low birth weight, babies that are premature, multiple births, women who have received assisted reproductive technology and fertility treatments, also women who have jaundice and other birth complications. Birth complications can be one of the most common risk factors. A few years ago, I was introduced to a handsome little toddler named Bentley. On July 13, 2011, Bentley's mother, Linda, went into labor at 29 weeks old. The doctors could not figure out why Linda went into labor. After Bentley was placed in the neonatal intensive care unit for 7 weeks, he was sent home and the months went on. As Bentley grew, his parents noticed that he was behind on his motor skills. Linda and Drew put Bentley in occupational therapy, and after not showing much improvement, they took him to a neurologist. Bentley was diagnosed with CP on May 23rd of 2013. Bentley is currently at Shriners Hospital undergoing treatment. They later found out from Linda's condition that Bentley was due to placenta eruption. Now we know about what cerebral palsy is, a little bit about Bentley. What are the symptoms that parents will notice? So what did Linda and Drew actually see in the baby? There are early symptoms. In a baby older than 6 months, you see that the baby won't roll over in either direction. They cannot bring their hands together, and they will not bring their hands to their mouth. In babies younger than 6 months of age, the head will lag when being picked up. The baby either feels stiff or floppy. And when being cradled, they tend to overexert their back and neck as in a pushing away motion. Babies' legs may seem stiff and do a cross scissor action. And babies older than 10 months of age, their crawls will be lopsided, and they might have one hand dragging or a leg dragging. They'll scoot around on the buttocks and hop on the knees, but they'll never crawl on all fours. So now that everyone knows what a parent can expect to see in a child that has cerebral palsy, what can parents do in order to help prevent it or manage it? There is right now no cure for CP, but treatment can improve the lives of those who have the condition. According to New England Journal of Medicine, it is important to start treatment as early as possible. Many doctors recommend physical, occupational, and speech therapy. There's also medicines such as diazepam that will help the muscles relax. Surgeries and mechanical devices are also used as treatments. Another way to help manage this disease is intervention services. There are many programs designed for babies and toddlers. There's also after-school services that are offered for school-age children to help them excel. In closing, I now know that all of you have a better understanding of cerebral palsy, what the symptoms are, and the warning signs you can see as a parent, how to manage and how to accommodate to children that have CP. Understanding this information will help people gain knowledge in what CP is, how they can better the lives of their children, or better the lives of people they know that have CP. Thank you. Now I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to ask if anybody has questions about CP.
I know that Linda and Drew and Bentley were supposed to be here today, and unfortunately, he had to go to the hospital. Can you tell us what happened and what is it, the day in the life that they go through?
Bentley goes to occupational therapy about 3 times a week at the hospital, and CP usually comes with other issues, so it's not just the fact that they don't have motor skills. Bentley right now has RSV, which is due to his asthma, which is due to having CP. So the fact that he has RSV, they had to check him in the hospital because me and you could get over something easily, whereas Bentley, not so easily.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Does it got anything to do with drugs? Drugs got anything to do with CP?
They didn't link it to it, but I mean, any drug can pretty much have to do with premature birth weights, and premature birth weights are linked to CP, so it probably does have a risk. Anybody else? Comments?
Good job.
Good job.
Yay! Yay. And I don't know if you guys saw my picture of Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Gorgeous.